Problem solver Rob Wolchek joins us with a Hall of Shame investigation.
You know, Hugh and Monica, when I hire a contractor, I make sure he's licensed. Pay him half up front, the rest when the job is done. And if he doesn't finish the work, he's going to have to deal with me and my lawyer, which could be why this contractor might be avoiding guys like me. Meet Carlos the contractor. Can I talk to you about...
Not on the air, you can't.
Well, sure I can.
Carlos is trying to bail on me the way he did his customers.
So I gave him the money, and he more or less disappeared after that.
Carlos's customers say if it weren't for his lousy work, they'd have no work from him at all.
Nothing was done right. So we had to rip off the whole bathroom and do it again.
Do you have a license to do work?
Nope.
That doesn't stop him from getting work in some pretty upscale neighborhoods, relying on a culturally close-knit community for business.
Yeah, you paid him all in advance, right?
Right.
Carlos, talk to me, man.
Take that thing off first of all,
No, I'm not going to take it off.
and I got nothing to talk to you about.
Sure you do. Carlos's customers don't really fight back. That is, until now.
What I basically want to do is to stop this guy from doing this to other families as well.
Are you targeting Indian people?
That's it.
It's another morning at CC Remodeling, headquartered in Carlos Chavez's Novi apartment. Carlos may head off to his storage unit, grab some gas, head into Home Depot. On some days, Carlos actually makes it to a house to do a little work. And I mean a little work.
He did some work, but he did not complete the work, and he doesn't show up on time.
Murthy says he hired Carlos after hearing he'd started work at a friend's house. That family said he was very nice and seemed to do a good job.
And Carlos seemed like he was doing a good job for Murthy, too. At first, just long enough for Murthy to tell a few friends Carlos was a good guy. Then Carlos stopped coming.
His usual answer is, I'm coming next week, I'm coming next week, but that next week never comes.
Murthy had to hire another contractor who said what Carlos had done was all wrong.
This guy, from what I can make out, is, takes the deposit and just flies.
Carlos, the contractor, was recommended to Ranjit from a friend. Ranjit paid Carlos to fix some rotting boards on his deck.
He tore out all the wooden planks, and then he threw them in my yard and left.
The deck looks great now, but that's only because after weeks of waiting for Carlos to return and replace the boards he tore out, Ranjit had to pay another contractor to finish the job.
Neither Ranjit nor Murthy made a big stink out of what happened. They don't like to burden others with their problems. They're private people. How private? I talked to some of Carlos's customers who told me the same thing happened to them, but they just did not want to go on camera. And altogether, you gave him how much?
$24,000.
This man agreed to go on television, but only if I hit his face.
I couldn't even get a hold of him for a while.
Carlos was supposed to finish an unfinished basement. He started the job, worked long enough to get a few references, and then it's the same old story.
We basically had to hire someone else to finish the job.
I mean, the guy is a total loser.
Jake worked for Carlos on a few jobs. He says he left because he thought Carlos was taking advantage of trusting people.
Indian families. That's all I've seen.
Even though Carlos's customers say he won't show up to finish their jobs, he shows up no problem when I have my friend Manish call him to get an estimate on what he thinks is a new job.
How long you been in the home improvement business?
Solo 5 years.
Carlos thinks he's getting a new customer. Instead,
Rob Wolchek from Fox 2.
he's getting good old Rob.
Can I talk to you about...
Not on the air, you can't.
Well, sure I can. Are you pitching a job right now? Pitching a
He's here
construction
looking
job?
at a job.
Yeah, so you're going to do construction work for him?
I don't know if I am or not.
Yeah. Well, do you have a license to do work?
Nope. All my
And how
customers
come you're
know
out
that.
here doing it?
All my customers know I don't have a license. I tell them that.
Yeah? And they're fine with that?
That's what I tell them when I go in there, yeah.
Do you also tell them that you're not going to finish the job?
Nope.
How come you don't finish the jobs?
Well, there's a lot of things going on this year, but
Okay, well, tell me about... I got a guy named Ranjit. You did his deck. You didn't finish it.
Oh, Carlos, I can still see you. Gonna answer the question?
take that thing off first of all,
No, I'm not going to take it off.
and I got nothing to talk to you about.
Sure you do. Murthy, Bijou, Van, all these people.
Watch yourselves.
How come you do this, man?
What? Get sick and get going to the hospital? got
Oh,
things.
come on,
I've
man.
been in
You
the
know
hospital.
what you're doing. Are you targeting Indian people?
That's it.
Hey, Carlos, you may think you have the perfect customers for your brand of construction work. Well, I got a brand of my own. You're in the Hall of Shame. Ranjit filed a police report. The cops even called Carlos, and he promised to pay the money back, but didn't. Remember, I've talked to a few other families who didn't appear in this story. Many of them told me they called Carlos and asked him if he was having financial or personal problems and that they'd help him out if he'd just come finish the work. As I said, they're nice people, but at least for this guy, they're just way too nice. Hello, Monica?
Well, absolutely. These homeowners know the guy's name. They know where he lives. Why don't they sue him?
Well, I think that there's a little bit of a pride thing here, and I think that people might be a little bit embarrassed because it's a different culture and they're trusting people, and maybe they don't want to admit that they got ripped off. Maybe they don't want to publicize that they were cheated. So, I mean, I had to talk these people into talking on camera, and with the intention that they were going to be helping other families, because it just seems to be going around the community and more families are being targeted. So they're doing the right thing now by exposing this guy.
And we're talking about a lot of money here. That one gentleman, $24,000.
$24,000. He started the job, and then I think he paid another $12,000 to get the job finished. You know, so it's just he's a nasty guy doing something to some very nice, vulnerable people.
Well, hopefully it ends with this report.
Yes, I hope so too.
Thanks,
All right,
Ron.
thank you.